What's going on, Kenneth? This is Kenneth, SBM Boxing. From request, subscribe. Let's speak boxing. Look, I just want to create these boxing videos and just vent. Just have a conversation. Let's have a conversation, because these conversations must be had. You know what I'm saying? You got George the Boxing Genius, you got Angel Chino Sanchez, you got Waki Say, you got Nelson the Godfather. I'm still in communication with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just Steven Suave Tate. You got Steven as well. Steven's just, he's big in the boxing community and stuff like that. He would go back and forth on Facebook and things like that. But it's been a minute since I've been active. But I'm still watching fights, still shooting the shit with George the Boxing Genius, going to a little MGM and just talking boxing, But the welterweight division, there's always a lot to talk about when it comes to the welterweight division and what's going on and what's the landscape of the land. You know what I'm saying? What's the status? A lot of people are saying, pound for pound, you got Crawford. Which obviously achievement-wise, resume-wise, being unified, undisputed, and then moving up. Obviously, I give that to Crawford. But as far as him getting settled and situated, look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. He looked great against Kell Brook. But, no excuses or anything like that, but Kell Brook was inactive. You know what I'm saying? As far as resume-wise, he has a pretty good resume, but he still hasn't got his feet wet in the welterweight division. Whereas Spence, look, man, let's be honest, he mixed it up. You got Thurman. Thurman's going to make his comeback. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Thurman, there's been a lot of things as far as injuries after the Pacquiao loss. He got married. He got hurt. He rehabbed, and it looks like he shaved his hair, so he's a new man, new face. But, hey, a lot of people were writing Thurman off, but, one time, he still got it in him. You know what I'm saying? One time, he definitely still got it in him, and he definitely has a resume. And the thing about it, he beat Josito Lopez. He beat Danny Garcia, which was a split decision with Danny Garcia. Actually, I watched the other day. I watched the Porter fight. Dude, that was a hell of a fight, man. People don't want to talk about that. But Porter versus Thurman, bro, like that's a heavy throwback fight. And I sat there and I was just like, yo, this shit was mad entertaining. Even though I already knew who won the fight, but it was still, that was a match. You know what I'm saying? He had some trouble with Cayasso. But still, all in all, I don't want to keep going back and forth as far as his resume, but he mixed it up with Porter, which was a hell of a fight at that time. Garcia, that could have went either way, split decision. You know what I'm saying? He mixed it up with those two guys. And then he got into the ring with Manny Pacquiao. But styles make fights, man. Manny Pacquiao, you just never know what Manny, and then you're fighting active Manny. You know what I'm saying? So Manny overwhelmed him with punches, caught him off guard. He was able to get settled. By the time you notice, the fight slipped away from him. You know what I'm saying? So strategy and being able to adjust to a specific style, it's just Manny had his time. You know what I'm saying? But Thurman, I'm not going to write Thurman off. You know what I'm saying? What do I think? Thurman needs to come back. Does he need a tune-up fight? Absolutely. But I don't think I'm going to give him, look, man, either he fights Danny Garcia, running back with Danny. That's what I want. If I was the matchmaker, I'd be like, look, Thurman, you want to get back in the mix? You know what I'm saying? You got to fight Danny. Danny just lost against Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? By a wide margin as well. Even though nothing wrong with Danny Garcia, that's the top welterweights right there. Danny got a lot of power. He got boxing ability, but styles make fights. You know what I'm saying? Earl Spence's jab, keeping the distance, smother him when he got close and stuff like that. Yo, that's just like kind of, he was unable to get off. You know what I'm saying? But, Angel Garcia was right. As soon as Danny started letting them bombs go, bro, he started landing some shots. But that's here and maybe coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Danny's not a good fighter. It's just that night, Earl Spence was a better man. You know what I'm saying? As far as adapting and implementing the game plan and implementing that jab and stuff like that. But I think if Danny would have let them hands go and be a little bit more aggressive. But then again, I'm not in Danny's shoes, so I can't talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lacing them gloves. I don't know how he feels and shit. So it's kind of hard to put myself in his shoes. But what I did know, he was the aggressor towards the end and let them fucking hands go. He was landing some big ass shots. But then again, Earl Spence, being the fighter he is, he knows how to adapt, adjust. Would that continue to work? I don't know, but I can't make speculations. All I could say is that Earl Spence was the better man that night. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be a good comeback fight for Danny, and it'll be a good comeback fight for Thurman as well. You know what I'm saying? Crawford, he has to mix it up with these guys, man. Crawford has to fight Keith Thurman. He has to fight Danny Garcia. He has to fight Showtime Sean Porter. And a lot of people are not talking about this, dude. You got to fight Ugas, man, because Ugas is a bad motherfucker as well. I think Ugas beat Porter, hands down. Ugas has a couple of L's on his belt and stuff like that, but, he out of all the fighters that I mentioned, Ugas has been the most active. You know what I'm saying? He fought twice last year, twice the year before. He's active. He's solid. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to box. And, you know what I'm saying? Is he marketable? Does he have a big fan base? No, he doesn't. But, you know, if you're going to come back, mix it up with one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Mix it up with one of those guys. So, if I was the Max Matrix, Thurman versus Garcia, let's get it on. Crawford, step into the ring with Porter, because obviously, you know, with Kenny and with the negotiations, it looks like that's definitely possible. It's not like Porter can't bring in a fan base. He doesn't, you know, Porter, obviously he's been in the ring and actually has a lot of boxing fans that would love to see that fight. He always makes a good fight anyway, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if, say, for instance, Crawford wins that fight, no one can ever question Crawford, you know what I'm saying? He proved his worth, and he mixed it up, you know what I'm saying? And then you got Earl Spence. Earl Spence, if he wants to go up and wait, let's go up and wait. You know, he just got out of a fight with Danny Garcia, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm not sure what's going to be Earl Spence's next fights, but somebody's got to mix it up with Ugas. So you got Ugas, you got Spence, you got Porter, you got Danny Garcia, you got Thurman, Crawford. You got to mix it up with them motherfuckers, man, because at the end of the day, dude, nothing against your skill and ability, but I'm not putting you as a top pound for pound whatsoever. I'm not even doing it in the welterweight. I'm not saying that you're the man until you beat some of those guys and start mixing it up. Danny fought Porter. Danny fought Thurman. Thurman fought Pacquiao. Spence just got done fighting. He fought Porter, and he just got done fighting Danny Garcia. What the fuck, dude? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that shit. What if, should have, yo, but Bob Arum this, Bob Arum, bro. I don't even want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear it, bro. You got to mix it up in order for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to count Keith one-time Thurman out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know as far as how he was in injury-wise and how severe, and as far as inactivity and things like that. Yo, one time can brawl, man. Watch that Porter fight. Watch the Danny Garcia fight. I think Danny was a little slick with it. Danny looked sharp. He looked crisp. And Danny's accurate. So stylistically, Danny, you know, made it a little bit more complicated for Thurman. But Porter was able to rough him up and shit like that. But, you know, Thurman got grit. You know what I'm saying? So, ideally, Thurman versus Spence would be a hell of a fight. But, obviously, that's not going to happen. Because, obviously, you know, you want to see... So, Thurman itself, either Thurman fights Ugas or Thurman fights Danny Garcia. You know, I would love to see either one of those fights. I would love to see Ugas get an opportunity to step back in the ring. Not against Porter, because that fight's not going to happen. But mix it up. Ugas versus Danny Garcia, but I know Danny's not going to make that fight happen. That's just not, it's not going to happen whatsoever. Not whatsoever. Ugas is legit, you know what I'm saying? Not to say nothing about Danny, but if I was to pick Ugas versus Danny Garcia, I think Ugas wins that fight. But I think Thurman, I don't know, man. I think Thurman can beat Ugas, man, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? If he's able to mix it up. So, fight Danny or fight Ugas, Thurman. As far as Pacquiao, I don't care what Pacquiao does, man. You know what I'm saying? Just have these conversations. Obviously, Pacquiao's a little bit older. I like the fact when you're fighting an active Pacquiao, back-to-back fights, then he's dangerous. But right now with the whole quarantine, and I know he has a lot of demands as a senator and shit like that, and he's just, his inactivity's not there. So I would rather see him fight Mayweather, or, you know what I'm saying, or do something else. You know what I'm saying? Relinquish that belt. Actually, I think he was stripped from the belt. But just, you know, go down and wait and fight Ryan Garcia. You see what happens there, man. But I said that in my last video. I said that definitely makes sense, revenue-wise. But Ryan Garcia, man, you better be careful, dude. You better be careful, unless, you know, that's some thick-ass fight. But Pacquiao will put them hands on you, and he does have speed. You know, Ryan has the ability to have the distance, but he doesn't have the experience. And Pacquiao got power in both hands, bro. Let them hands go. But anyways, I want to have this conversation as far as the welterweight division itself. Where is it going? Who the landscape? What's going on with Thurman, because he is making a comeback. How I feel about Crawford. Nothing to discredit Crawford, but bro, you got to get in the mix, because right now I got Earl Spence #1, man. Hands down. I don't care what Ring Magazine has. I don't care that you're undisputed. Nah, I don't care that you went up to I'm talking about right now into welterweight division. You know, Kell Brook, yes, that wasn't that we can't even nah, man. No. Because there was, even when I created the video, I figured Kell Brook had a chance, but there was a lot of still gray area, bro. There's a lot of uncertainty there with Kell Brook and his inactivity. Because even since the Triple G fight and the Earl Spence loss, he's just never the same fighter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Danny Garcia, maybe after this loss, he's never going to be the same fighter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Unless he can bounce back and fight Thurman, then I don't see Danny Garcia at the welterweight division. He's going to have to come down in weight, but I don't see him doing that either. I see him going up to 154, which, you know, hopefully, you know, his speed would definitely be there, but would his power be there? Hopefully he can carry his power up to 54. I don't know. But anyway, guys, just, you know, food for thought. This is Kenneth, SBM Boxing from Chris. Subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Have a good one.